Good day, everybody, and what's up? Welcome to the podcast for selfless sex, and she comes first. My name is Dr. Nick. Today is March the 7th in the afternoon. Finally, a nice sunny day. It's still kind of cold outside, but it's better than the 3 or 4 weeks of just cloudy and rainy crap we had going on around here. And once again, thank you for all of the new subscribers, especially to the Facebook group and to the Facebook page and to Spotify. So I hope you guys stick around and just join in on the fun that we have here. And real talk, this week was kind of rough for me. Work was just still crazy, and I got that phone call that no child wants to get. Bottom line is, my dad had triple bypass surgery on Wednesday. And I spoke to him yesterday for the first time. He made it through pretty well. Doctor said that he's doing very well. He's already up walking around, taking showers and things like that. But, he's going to stay in the hospital for a few more days, hopefully. But yeah, it's kind of like, oof, come on now. He told me that he was just having quote unquote chest pains and his chest felt kind of heavy, but those were actually a series of heart attacks. So I'm glad he actually went to the doctor. So fellas, if you feel wrong, go to the doctor and get it checked out. It could actually save your life. And in this case, it actually did. So not to get all morbid and everything, just to turn the corner, today's topic is a request from two young ladies, Victoria and Nicole, and they want to talk about prostate play and prostate play with their husbands. Now, I'm really not going to go too much into it. I'm not going to try to say like yay or nay, you should do this or you're not, but I'm just giving information so you can do with it what you want to. So you know what? Let's talk about that today. Yes. The prostate gland, also known as the male G-spot. For some guys, not for every guy, but for some guys. So to get this conversation started, just keep in mind that the prostate gland comes in different sizes, from small to large, ranging from the size of a nutmeg nut up to a good-sized walnut. And I'm not talking about an enlarged prostate here. That's something completely different. And that's actually a medical condition that needs to be looked at. I'm just talking about an average size prostate. And secondly, I don't want people to get the idea that because the prostate is either large or small, that's related to the amount of pleasure that it gives. Not like it's more concentrated in a smaller prostate. Therefore, the guys who have smaller prostates, they get their mind blown. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. So size has nothing to do with it. In this case, size doesn't matter, believe it or not. Number two, for some people, for some guys, having their prostate massaged is incredible. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And for other guys who get the same type of stimulation the exact same way, nothing. They can live without it. No big deal, and or they didn't get anything pleasurable from it at all. So, there are typically two camps, and of course there are people in the middle who get some pleasure out of it, and they're cool with that. It's not mind-blowing, it's not awful, or just kind of like but they get some pleasure out of it. So there's a wide range of options on this continuum of pleasure. But here's the thing. When you talk to guys about prostate pleasure, they are against it because they have an idea in their head. And I'm here to tell you that there are two main ways, not only one, to stimulate the prostate. So let's talk about that right now. So as we talk about anal play here, of course, most likely there's going to be a few things that you're going to need. Right off the top, number one is lubrication. And I'm talking a high quality lube here, not just spit. Go to the store and buy a high quality lubrication. Most likely it can be a water-based lubrication, especially if you're using latex gloves and or non-latex gloves, just to be safe. And number two, as I just mentioned, gloves, because gloves tend to smooth out your fingers or anything like that, and it's a lot better if you're using a gloved finger and you're rubbing skin with lube on it versus like latex rubbing into dry skin. That's no fun at all. So always put some lube on your fingers. And number 3, just to be clean here, you can get some wipes or some personal cleansing cloths, as they are known, or AKA baby wipes, same thing. They just charge double the price for adults now for whatever reason. And as you're doing this, talk to your man, talk to your partner about if it feels good, how they like to be touched. Are you applying too much pressure, not enough pressure, or what's going on? But please, while you are doing this, talk to your partner. So number 1, let's talk about external stimulation of the prostate. So the area that you want to focus on here is called the perineum. It's the area between the testicles and the anus, also known as the taint. So you can use your gloved hand and apply plenty of lube to that area, and you can actually stimulate the area in circles. And if you apply just a little bit of pressure, you should be able to feel the prostate through the skin going externally. So just by you rubbing that area in a circular pattern, he may get some pleasure just out of that. So 1B, if you really want to give him extra pleasure, you can rub his perineum or his taint in a circular pattern with pressure, and also masturbate him with your other hands. And 1C, if you really want to get fancy, you can stimulate his prostate externally and perform oral sex on him. So that will give him an extra level of pleasure. So let's jump right in to the second form of prostate stimulation, which is internal. And this is when you take your gloved finger that has been properly well lubed and you insert them into his anus. Now, if he is laying on his back, you probably will have to go in about 1 inch to 2 inches with 1 or 2 fingers. Talk to him about this, 1 or 2 fingers, and you would make that come hither motion with your fingers, or like come here motion with your fingers. You don't have to bend them all the way back around. You just kind of tickle it just a little bit, and that's pretty much all you're doing. And then at the same time, please talk to him about what sensation he's getting. Does he like it? Is it not enough stimulation for him? Is it too much? Please talk to him about what sensations he is feeling at the moment. So at the same time, as I mentioned before, you can use your other hand to masturbate him, or then at the same time, you can use your mouth and perform oral sex on him for additional pleasure for your man. Now, for some guys who are listening to this prostate talk, they're all for it. And then on the other hand, there are some guys who are totally against it. So let's talk about that. I already know that there's a population of guys out there who are listening to this podcast where they are already cool with prostate play. They're having a good time with it already with them and their partner, and they have no problems. At the same time, I already know that there's a section of listeners who thinks prostate play is gay or could make them gay. My question to you is this. If you're there with your lady and she's giving you pleasure, does that make you gay? No. Please do not confuse pleasure with orientation. You hear me? I'll say it again. Please do not confuse pleasure with orientation. Are you attracted to other men? Are you physically attracted to other men? Are you emotionally attracted to other men? And probably not, because you're sitting there with your lady and you've been having sex with your lady for a while now. You see what I'm saying? So don't confuse pleasure with orientation and anatomy. It's your prostate. For you, it could give you a ton of pleasure, but you're afraid to try it out because you think that will turn you gay. It doesn't work that way. It never has. Any and every gay man who I've ever talked to say that they've always known from way back when they were little that they were attracted to men emotionally and physically. So having your prostate stimulated does not make you gay. And watch this. Now, it could be previously in a previous relationship with your other lady, you guys did this stuff. You guys are having a good time engaging in prostate play with no issues, but that fell apart, and you're afraid to talk to your new lady about prostate play because she may think that you're gay. You see what I'm saying? Because this stuff runs deep. It really does, unfortunately. And that's a conversation that you guys need to have outside of the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom. But most likely, this is what's going to happen. If you start talking about prostate play with your lady, most likely she's going to be open to it. She's going to be open to giving you pleasure. Why? Because she likes you. She cares about you. She wants you to feel good. She won't view you as gay at all. Why? Because there's no one else in the room except for you two, you and her, and you guys are having a good time. And she's stimulating your prostate with your penis in her mouth, or she's giving you a hand job. What's gay about that? See what I'm saying? Because I think women would be more open to this, especially if you talk to them about it. Because in my opinion, women are more open sexually, and women are also more sexually advanced than men. Where we hold on to old ideas that are just out of date and or doesn't make any sense. You talk to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, okay, let's go. All right, I got some lube right here. I got some gloves. Let's go." And you're like, "Wait a minute. I ain't ready for that." She's probably open to it. Why? Because as I said before, she wants you to feel good. No more, no less. So in closing, prostate play has been around for thousands of years. It's nothing new. I know some people love it already. Please continue to do what you do and enjoy yourself. And then some fellas out there are just dead set against it because they're afraid to give it a shot because of some outdated mode in their head where they think that that all of a sudden they're going to start liking men. It doesn't work that way. So I said, just give it a shot. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. She can use her fingers. They have vibrating toys of various sizes out there or non-vibrating toys. And if you want to get more advanced with it, there's this thing called milking. You can look that up on Google, and then there's pegging, which is really advanced, but that's to each their own. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say right there, to each their own. But give it a shot. You never know until you try. You may love it, and she may love giving you additional pleasure. So on that note, fellas, I'm out. Have a great day. Stay tuned. I'll talk to you soon.